Looking for a nice hearty meal that's quick and easy on these cold winter evenings? Then you'll love this soup from the kitchen of the Blue Zones Project. It's very easy and quick to make. It only takes 30 minutes. This is the perfect meal after a long day at work. Hi, my name is Terry Clark. I'm a registered dietitian at Mercy Medical Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Today's recipe is the Loma Minestrone, a Blue Zone approved recipe to add to your repertoire of easy, healthy, and hearty meals this winter. So to start the recipe, we're going to heat up a little bit of olive oil in a pan, about 2 tablespoons, so that we can saute the onions. And quite frankly, the onions is the only prep that you have to do. Everything else is quite simple. You open a can, take it out of a bag. Now you can make these things from fresh if you wanted to cut up some carrots, your own fresh carrots, and maybe even add some celery. That would work too. But remember, you just got home from work and you are ready to have dinner on the table. And you'd like to have it as quick as possible. So I'm chopping up these onions, dicing it. And this is a nice red onion. You could use a white onion if you prefer. Take about 2 minutes. Make sure you get all the big pieces. And then we're going to saute this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's translucent. So this oil has been heating in there for a little bit. Looks pretty good. We'll just give that about 5 to 10 minutes until the onions get translucent. Okay, so I've got the onions sauteed to a translucent color, and now I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients for the soup. We're going to add 2 cups of our vegetables, and this here is a 16-ounce bag of frozen vegetables, and it's just your mixed vegetable mix. Starting to look really good. Now we have garbanzo beans and cannellini beans, and I'm going to rinse these. And what that does is it gets rid of some of the sodium, not 100%, but it will help decrease the sodium level in the soup. So you just put it in a colander and of course rinse it. Make sure you get all the beans. And then we'll put in our garbanzo beans. The beans are going to add a lot of nice protein, great fiber. It's going to be the heart of the meal. That's where you're going to get a nice hearty soup from these beans. Then we're going to add in some low sodium, and you can also get the sodium-free tomatoes. 1 15-ounce can of that. And we'll just throw in the whole thing. And our vegetable broth. 4 cups of vegetable broth. And I would also recommend a low-sodium vegetable broth. This will help keep the sodium level down on this soup. Sometimes soup can be really, really high in sodium. And if we can get a nice low-sodium soup most of the time, then I think we're doing pretty well. So I'm just going to turn this heat up a little bit, and then I'll turn it back down. I'm going to bring it to a boil. And I'm also going to add my herbs. So there's a little bit of basil leaf. Now, it's a teaspoon. I'm just guesstimating it. That's what I do at home, so about a teaspoon of that. And then this recipe calls for fresh thyme. And if you don't have fresh thyme, then it's okay to use the dried. And when you're using fresh versus dried, you want to use, the measurements are about 1 tablespoon of fresh and 1 teaspoon of dried. And since we're using dried today, we're going to use 1 teaspoon. And again, I'm going to do my guesstimate. You're welcome to use a teaspoon measurement if you want, but I'm just going to use my hand. And then we also have 3/4 cups of noodles. We're going to put that in. And again, like I said, we're just going to bring this to a boil, and then we'll turn it down and simmer it. And when the noodles get all nice and tender and soft, the soup is ready to go. Okay, so we've let our minestrone simmer for about 20 minutes, and it looks great. So it's time to eat. 30 minutes and dinner's on the table. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit in a bowl here, and you can serve this with a little Parmesan on top, little nice crusty French bread or sourdough bread on the side, a few slices, or how about a nice little side salad? That would taste great with some nice virgin olive oil and vinegar dressing. If you don't feel like any of those, how about a nice sweet potato? Get some nice fiber and vitamin A. So within 30 minutes, dinner is served.
Hi, my name is Terry Swank, and I'm associated with the local project here in Cedar Rapids. We're pleased to be collaborating with Mercy Medical Center to help encourage healthy eating within Cedar Rapids. We are involved in many initiatives here in town, one of which is our plant-based cooking classes. We have several goals with our plant-based cooking classes, one of which is to help provide an opportunity for community members to experience healthy eating. The second goal is to give them the skills that they need to create these plant-based recipes in their own home. Plant-based cooking is based on research by the Blue Zones Project, where centurions in each of the 5 regions of each of the 5 Blue Zones regions incorporated at least 2 vegetables into their diet, and their main source of protein was from beans and legumes. Recipes on BlueZones.com utilize at least one item from the Blue Zones Project food list. They encourage plant-based sources of protein, include whole grains, and utilize ingredients that are minimally processed. If you'd like to try some of these plant-based recipes for yourself, please feel free to visit BlueZones.com and go to the section called Recipes. We'd love to have you join us. If you'd like to join the Blue Zones Project and become a part of what we're doing here in Cedar Rapids, please feel free to visit BlueZonesProject.com and pledge your support for the program. We hope you will join us in making the healthy choice the easy choice in Cedar Rapids.